Hey ratbags, it's Jade with another detailed guide today, taking on Azeos, the Sky Titan, the first boss that you probably should face once you take down the barrier wall. Killing this mama is going to take you to the next level in your Warlock class, as well as drops dedicated to helping you and your pets, whether it's armor or boosters. Also, this is how you get the fishing trader, so that you can unlock more OP fishing gear and get special lures. Find this video useful, leave a like, and let's go. Azeos, the Sky Titan. It should be the first boss that you take on once you've got rid of the partition wall after defeating the first three bosses, Magulus, Gorm, and of course Glurch. They're the three bosses you need to defeat to actually make the wall come down. Check out the rest of my guides on how to defeat them and what kind of loot drops you get from them. And as always, make sure you talk to the core after defeating every boss, as it will give you the general direction of where the next one will be, i.e. southeast, southwest, and in this case it was to the southwest. If you really want to know exact coordinates, you can always craft the location stone, but that does require ancient gemstones and mechanical parts. You should have plenty of them by now, but that 10 ancient feathers, that requires exploring quite a bit of the Azeos wilderness and basically finding them on the ground. And of course, don't forget the summoning item, which is a large shimmering egg, 10 copper bars, 10 tin, iron and scarlet, obviously getting from the Azeos wilderness the scarlet, and you're going to need 5 gold bars and 3 ancient gems. As said, I didn't use that actual location stone, as I kind of lucked out finding them just by exploring the Azeos wilderness. You will also notice there's a ton of the feathers here as well, so you might not necessarily need them now, but yeah, if you go ahead and use your hoe, you can pick up a ton of the feathers here. This is what they look like in the rest of the Azeos wilderness though. You're looking for either the yellow or the blue. Look out also for a special guide talking about how to explore the Azeos wilderness in a future video, but let's focus just on the boss fight today. And the last thing before we begin the fight is make sure you find the waystone. There is one of these nearby pretty much every boss in the game now, or the ones that have a fixed location at least. They're not always directly to the south, they can be anywhere within a range, a circle around the boss. So pay good attention and dig around till you find it. Previously I would put just a bed down and that would be the way that I would get back here quicker, but now you can just teleport straight away. And one thing you're not going to see me do in this run is you can see there are some edges to this biome, and it'll open up even more as Azeos flies around demolishing the ground. You want to clear out some of them gaps with some bridges, as it will make life a lot easier, particularly stone bridges I think. I'm not too sure if wooden ones get actually broken. Anywho, he can sometimes go beyond that small circle to the outer edges, and there can be crystals that will heal him. And that's the main bulk of this fight. You have to avoid literally the thunder strikes, as they do a huge amount of damage. In between them, get in and do a lot of hits if you're using melee class. We'll talk about gear and different ways to defeat him in a minute. You can see the crystals have popped up, and it's a good idea to destroy as many as you can, although he will pretty much only take self-healing from maybe one of them as he gets closer to it. You can see here he's just on the outer edges, so range class, yep, sure, going to be good, but again we'll talk about that in a minute. His Ring of Thunder will pretty much contract and expand at various times, and that can be a hard one to actually avoid. And this is the problem with a melee build: if you get too close, you end up having a whole cluster of them hit you. When he gets to about 40% of his health, he will enrage, but it's actually a fairly decent one. It just means the lightning are going to go a little bit quicker. He doesn't actually do any more extra damage. You can still wail on him even while he's healing, that will at least stop him from gaining too much health, but it all depends on how many crystals he's managed to activate. Generally it will be 1 to 2 of them that he's getting healing from, so as long as you can go and destroy them, you can then stop him from healing. This is why obviously having a pet as well, doing some attacks, means you're getting some hits in while you're avoiding the thunder or lightning, as well as obviously destroying the crystals. You could use bombs placed by the crystals if you don't want to spend too much time mining, and like I said, if you've got a low mining score, you're going to find this a bit tougher if you're using just iron. But it is totally doable to use that as the actual tool to break them open. So fast moving potions, dodge out of the way of the lightning. When he does that attack especially, get range. Fingers crossed, you shouldn't find this too much of a problem. He does also have an Easter variant, which I'll talk about in a separate video, but you might have already seen it from me. It's an old one, but it's the same premise. You just have to collect enough Easter eggs to craft the summoning item when that event is live next year. So there we go, that's how you take him on, that's the kind of thing to expect, and you obviously get your soul power, your first one, which is a chance of triggering thunder damage, which can destroy obviously enemies, plus destroying any terrain around as well. Whenever you've got a critical hit in, it has a chance of happening. Couldn't even show it because in the next 3 hours I didn't trigger it once, mainly because I have been a mage class, but it is a line of energy just like the Thunderstrike that goes along in one direction, so it's not the best power. Also be warned, it can activate when you're at your base, killing just any random slime that might be appearing, so yeah, always worth deactivating it when you're back at base. You can check on your magical powers, your soul powers of course, in your character menu near your skills. So in terms of loot, I would say absolutely it's worth doing because it's a great way to go ahead and get the Corrupted Warden armor set, which is the next level up from obviously the Chieftain Warlock set. So it does look like the Corrupt Warden set has got a chance of dropping all 3 pieces. I'm not too sure about the Wild Warden stuff. According to the wiki, it's only actually the pauldrons that drop, not the actual mask or the pants. But I've got a feeling that might change, I don't know. That's why I'm going to do another video so I can give you the full rundown. But you should absolutely get a chance to drop in the Corrupt stuff. And it gives you a maximum health, much bigger increase compared to the Chieftain or any of the other Warlock stuff. Much bigger mana and regenerating your mana quicker as well with the helmet. 2.5 mana every second plus 1 max minion. Also increases the minion's lifespan. The tunic does the same thing. You get another minion plus minion damage. And the shorts, another minion, plus again, more minion damage. All 3 together and your minions have got more chance of doing critical hits. So look out for a more in-depth video where I farm and give best ways how to kill Azeos, but it does look like maybe only the pauldron actually drops. It's really good if you are a Beast Master. And pets are the theme. You also get the chance of getting the Beast Booster, which gives 5000 XP to your pet, basically making it go up to level 5 if it's a brand new one. Also got Azeos's Dash Feather, which is the upgrade to the Swift Feather. It simply gets you a bit further dashing and it's a bit faster to use. Now you get plenty of various ore, you can get gold, obviously ancient gemstones and of course lots of scarlet, but you also get a guaranteed drop of Pile of Chum, and this is how you get the fishing trader. Put them down in a room just like the rest of the traders and you can buy more advanced lures, fishing rods and get other bonus gear to help fish. And yeah, just give you a bit more lowdown on the actual fish trader itself. As you can see, plenty of different style fish and accessories that will help you get more fish. You've got red bait, purple bait. The sea foam fishing ring is obviously going to be probably the best one as it increases your fishing by 51. So if you want to get the best fish, then yeah, absolutely try and get hold of that. The broken handle, which is a pretty decent melee weapon too. But of course, the main use of this is going to be combining it with the other broken stuff that you can find to make a special legendary weapon, but that'll be in a separate video. But you can find broken handles in large mazes guaranteed and some drops in the kind of Forgotten Ruins. Otherwise here's actually a good percentage chance too. You also got a fairly good chance of picking up the ancient pickaxe, which is better than the actual scarlet one. And then a few accessories. Azeos's beak necklace, which gives lots of life steal basically on melee hit as well as increasing mining damage. And the Sky Ring, which gives extra critical hit damage as well as a chance of physical melee damage. So if you want to start farming him straight away, you will have to wait 6 minutes in between placing down each egg, and do be warned that if you leave the area, Azeos disappears, as does your egg. Obviously it's consumed every time you utilise it, so yeah, don't go off anywhere just to heal or go too far, as it might end up being a waste, unlike a lot of the other bosses that might only regain some of the health if you go out of render quickly. Let's talk other ways to defeat him that I've encountered so far, but again, I'll look out for a more concise video once I get some more data numbers and I've found some more better ways to defeat it. So in terms of gear, you want stuff that's obviously going to give you a lot of health, but I would still say movement speed is king, and anything that can help you. Either the Swift Ring, the Swift Feather. If you found the magical lens that allows you to teleport, even better. If you're going down the melee kind of brute route, then obviously making sure you've got a shield and you're utilising it, not just in the slot, but actually holding it down just in case you need to against Azeos's Thunderstrikes. And also a really good way of defeating him, which I'm going to show, is anything that has poison damage. So poison damage stops creatures from healing, and it will stop Azeos from healing from the crystals. I got super lucky, I went and took on Ivy, which was nearby, and I got a poisonous sickle, and that really helped out. Things like the blowpipe and others that do poison damage are also equally as good, or pets too. Especially the fan hair, which you can find in the Azeos wilderness, so make sure you do go and attack any of the flower vessels, as that's the best chance of dropping one from them. Now I've been maining absolutely the Mage and Warlock classes the whole of this playthrough, and I'm just absolutely ripping a lot of the bosses, with only maybe some of the later slimes being more troublesome. So yeah, I'm going to say Warlock is a great class to have, using your minions to do damage, and of course your pet. Focus on your pet if you manage to get fan hair doing that poison damage. But I think you can use absolutely any class you want. The melee, you do have to be a bit more careful getting close. Azeos doesn't actually have any attacks it does itself, like when it flaps its wings it's not going to do any damage against you. It's only when that lightning hits directly when you're close to it that's sometimes unavoidable unless you are going to speed out the way like this. And it will pretty much one-shot you if you're at the centre of that when it expands or contracts. Magical Lens and Dash Feather for the win. I do want to experiment eventually with things like turrets and more, and that will be coming in a separate video just to see if we can find the optimum way to actually farm them. And compared to a lot of the other drops, obviously like the early free game bosses where it costs so many of your coins to go and buy the idols, this one's relatively cheap, only relying on the resources that you can find out in the world. So already got the corrupted legs, I think, the first time, and now I've got the Warden mask, and you can see I got a bunch of other gear. I've got 2 feathers, and I ended up getting 2 handles as well. And there we go, that's how you find him, that's how you defeat him, that's mostly what you get. Like I said, I probably will do another concise video once I get some more data and also incorporate some other new ideas on how to take him out even more quicker. But yeah, poison was the way to go there, absolutely much quicker than the first time I fought him. So there we go, until next time ratbags, catch out the rest of my boss guides and any other core keeper stuff I'm doing. Really loving the game as always, and I'll see you ratbags later.